Oh, oh, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be from the bottom of the map. From the bottom of the map.
From
It's
the bottom of the map.
Israel.
Isaac, y'all already know what it is. We got a good one in here for y'all
Got a good
today.
one. We got a good one today. Shoot, let's get into it. Miami playing Temple this weekend.
First
You know,
road trip. First road trip.
first road trip. This will be a nice little test. Not a nice little test in the sense of we're playing a good team, but it is a test for this team getting on the road, playing in a different environment, playing in different weather. Miami has just been notoriously bad in colder weather. Not to say it's cold right now, but just not in, just typical Miami sunshine. I know it's been raining a lot of Miami games, but just not in that weather. Just getting on the road, taking this team on the road and just seeing how they perform in a different environment. But it should be a relatively easy test, but we'll
Well,
see.
you got a bye week coming right after that, and then conference play starts. So
Mhm.
you figure, you know what I'm saying, this time last year, I don't know if any Miami fan expected us to be walking into a game where we're like, look, we can win this game and be 4-0 to start the season off. So far, if it's the first quarter of the year, this will decide like, oh, okay, where are we at? Also, you got to think there's a lot of players who are hurt, right? We know Cam Kitchens is probably not going to play. There's a lot of other people. Fletcher, the running back, didn't play. So this
Mhm.
is a chance to see, like, well, what are they going to do here? You're going to play certain new people, but certain other people, do you want to get them tuned up? So I think, the other half is just seeing who plays, who doesn't, and what type of things that you work on right before you got real tests coming up. And also, you want to pay attention because you don't want to sleepwalk through this game. You do got
Mm.
North Carolina, but you got another bye week. Then you got Clemson right after that, I believe. So it's really the murderers meat of our schedule coming up. So.
Yeah, and so I've been looking in the Temple a little bit. This is a team that's kind of trying to establish themselves in their conference. I think they're in the AAC, the American Conference. So
Okay.
they're in an American Conference trying to establish themselves. But they're 2-1 right now. They beat Akron, and they beat I forgot what HBCU team they beat, and then
Hey,
they
hey,
lost.
did Akron's running back look good?
Lorenzo Lingard. I think y'all remember him.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like this, awesome running back. But
Talked about
anyway,
him last episode. Another 5-star
the
that,
five
didn't
star.
turn out. Okay.
But just doing some of the tape on Temple, they still haven't really identified, what they are. They still just kind of like building their program back up. They do run a two quarterback system, so they do have like a traditional pocket quarterback in Warner, and I think they're running like
You know
dual
who
threat.
said that is in
Yeah,
Warner,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. EJ Warner, yeah, that's Kurt Warner's son.
Hey, you
So
gotta mention shit like that. Let the people know now. Because I didn't know that at first, and I was
mhm.
like, well, Buddy's pretty damn accurate. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
okay, the strength
he's
of
more
their
of your
team is good.
traditional sit in the pocket quarterback. They got the dual threat quarterback who they have like running packages for him. But their offense isn't really dynamic, not really that explosive. But this is why I say this is important for Miami. This is a game for Miami being on the road to give a team like don't allow them to get no momentum. Don't allow them to get in the rhythm. Don't allow them to get no momentum. They don't really have like a explosive running game. They don't have an explosive passing game. What they do have is like an accurate passing quarterback. So like, but they don't have like explosive dynamic receivers. But like
That part.
we've seen before, if you're not being fundamental, you can give a team, and hopefully this is not was it Middle Tennessee State. This isn't one of those games where, you get a halfway decent quarterback and you get some plays going, you get some momentum, and then we're losing bad to a bad team. So I'm just looking to see like how the defense steps up. Offensively, their defense is, I would say solid. I would say solid for their conference, but this should be a team that we overpower. Our offensive line should dominate. I want to see the running game. We know the passing game is going to be there. I want to see the running game dominate. I want to see the offensive line get off the ball. I want to see holes created. I want to see our backs like I want to see not 100 yard. I want to see a 200-yard, 250 plus rushing game. This is a game where I need to see our offensive line like this establish themselves from the start. Where it's like okay, they're starting to mold. This is game four. This is like all right. The offensive line should be gelling right now. Um, and we see what the running backs are going to do. I think Don Chaney is going to get more touches. I know they're talking about running back by committee, but I would like to see Chaney get more touches, and I would like to see and your boy Allen.
Oh yeah, I like Allen. Allen.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
pick
see
up
Allen get
AJ.
more touches.
I'm gonna start at the line. Somebody on their line 6'8", like 3-something pounds though. I do want to mention that. So, a lot of what you said, I agree with a lot. But also, the thing about Miami, even when they played Miami of Ohio, I felt like they did a good job, but I still felt like we were holding our breath. I don't feel like they necessarily shut them down. They would have beat Texas A&M, but a lot of self-inflicted. Texas A&M could have put in more points. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's the same test that I'm trying to see. Like, look, I understand it's Temple, but you got to dominate them boys. You really got to come the fuck out here, run these motherfuckers out the field. I know you see FSU over there. FSU had their little scare, but LSU beat the shit out of LSU. So that's their marquee victory. And I think Texas A&M is cool, but I just think that you're about to play North Carolina. So how you play this game is going to be able to show me a lot. That quarterback does like to roll out. I want to see what they do as far as contain. The other thing is that Temple's going to get up for this game. Now you're 3-0. Them teams going to start playing you harder. You're no longer a secret. You're no longer the pushover. So if they can hang with you, they're going to feel confident. And Miami, the one thing I do like about Miami so far is that these motherfuckers could take a punch because their ass was down, got down 14-17, you know what I'm saying? So you do show me that. You show me resilience. You show me that you're fighters and the talent is there. And if you fuck up bad enough, there's enough other people under you that'll take your little motherfucking spot. So that part I do like you said, running backs, but I want to see Allen a little bit more. I don't want to see Paris as much, but they're going to play Paris because everything I see, it's all about him doing everything that he has to do throughout the week. So they still do have that. And I'm not saying don't give him any touches, but like you said, I want to see Chaney and I want to see Allen a lot more and Fletcher. Now, Fletcher, to me, low-key is the rawest out the bunch, but if he's not ready to go, I say rest him. Don't even let him play at all and just save it for North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think Fletcher is going to be on the field. Like I say, with Parrish, like I always said, like I just like the fact that he just does everything he's supposed to do. He's not gonna get out of pocket too much. Like when they get in the pass coverage, he's always like picks up blocks.
It's
He
real shit.
he just does some of the simple things.
He averaged 3.5 yards though per carry, so it's just one of those
Yeah,
things.
I think he's just like your good blocking black back. He knows like pass coverage, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. But I'm not expecting too much out
Really,
of
for me, like you said, it ain't even about the offense. Fuck the offense in the manner of just like, listen, y'all are gonna do what y'all are gonna do. You showed me
him.
that. The defense, we really
That's
want to see them try to shut. Like I said, I want to see how they're able to contain that quarterback, and when they bring the other quarterback in, knowing he's coming in, don't over like the line is gonna get penetration. The other thing though is that Ruben Bain had played a little bit more last game. I'm thinking that there's still people hurt on that line, so you're going to see Ruben Bain a lot more, and I think that's a good thing. I think this is because he's going to play as a freshman. I don't know if they're going to burn the red shirt, but I want him, you know what I'm saying, in the absence of other people, to have a good game where we can really see what he can do.
Yeah, I want to see who's gonna like in the front seven between the defensive linemen and linebackers, who's really starting to establish themselves as like the dominant leader. We like
Mhm.
no, it's like Corey Flagg actually been making some plays. I kind of been down on him, but he's actually been
I
stepping
think you
up.
need to go back to. I think he's maybe he. I know that there was a couple of times where he probably got into the backfield. I remember one particular play. I think not against. I don't think it was against Bethune. I think it was in Texas A&M. But I do feel like we're critiquing him kind of hard because I feel like he's solid. If he's not elite, he's getting to be
He's
very good
solid.
on Sports Illustrated along with the other veterans. So you know what I'm saying? Like he's looking like he's doing his job. But I understand what you're saying. You're looking for a consistency and a jump from good. You want something elite. I
I,
don't
I
think
want
he's
I want to see somebody who's like the alpha dog on the first seven.
hold on, like my quarterback. What's my dog at quarterback? Because he's my
Oh,
hitter.
Jaden Davis. Jaden
Jaden Davis,
Davis, that boy is a
motherfucking hitter.
yeah,
Motherfucking
yeah,
hitter.
yeah,
That's what I want to see.
yeah,
That boy, he's from Broward. That boy
yeah.
got the stick. He hit you with the
He,
stick.
boy,
Balls.
hit you with the big stick.
Yeah,
Hit you
and
with
he
the
got
big
it in
stick.
him. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you gotta hit
yeah,
him with him. You gotta hit him with
excellent
him.
tackler. I'm talking about picture perfect. Yo, when I think about the University of Miami tackling, that's who I think about. And I think he makes that other. I think he makes that unit back there really, really good. So I know you're not big on couches, but I want to see my DBs. I want to see my
I like
DBs.
Ja'Cory Couch. I like Ja'Cory Couch. I think Couch is good. I do want to see him step up, but he hasn't. This is what I want to see with the defense. I want to see because they played against Texas A&M was supposed to have elite receivers, right? But I think they had just tall. Everybody is like, oh, if he's 6'2" and 210,
You
he's
don't
supposed to
like
be
that
this elite
shit.
receiver. But a lot of them are just not fast. They can't get off the
These
line. Don't
Florida
got
State
no.
niggas actually showed up and said they good. They catching shit, and when you ain't got DBs to fuck with them, put it this way: even Texas A&M, if those receivers had the dog in them, there's nobody gonna stop them because now you got people like LeBron at fucking receiver. The fuck we gonna do with that?
Yeah,
Jump ball, you done. So
can't
I
do nothing
think
with
that
that.
Florida State receivers are there. But I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about those playing to their potential. The other thing I want to mention is that we don't really play man to man. We play in a zone. You know what I'm saying? There's different types of zones. And so I do realize that certain players, certain DBs excel in zone versus some, that do excel in man. Either way, I think also they play a lot of prevent defenses. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more that could be said about that part of the game. And, you know what I'm saying? Later on, hopefully we get game tape and we can break some things down. But I think all in all, I think most fans, we don't want to see them score. Well, Rutgers, and, my other point is, Rutgers, what you said, 39-7?
38-7. Yeah, Rutgers
So
in the Rutgers game. They can say this is early in the season, but in the Rutgers game, I seen a lot of missed tackles. I see a lot of like blown coverages. I seen a lot of a lot of mistake football. So they can say it was early in the season, and we can kind of say
Rutgers
some stuff.
effectively ran that ball with
Yep,
their one running back. Rutgers got a nice little running back.
got a
He
nice running
ran
back.
a couple of times, and then their backup got in on the action.
Mhm.
And I'm just looking like, well, you got to score more than 38 points. To me, Rutgers is the barometer.
Mhm.
UM should go in there and at least score 38 points. And if our defense holds them to 7 points, you happy. I think 10 points is good. I'm gonna still say 17 just because they went for it on 4th and 1. Now, like you said, they shouldn't be able to run the ball. Maybe I don't give a fuck if the season progresses. Your line didn't get no penetration, so yeah, I think that's the test for me. Are you gonna score more than 39 points, and what point total are you gonna hold them to?
Also, I just don't want to see Miami play down the competition. This is what I want to see. This is going to be the difference that I'm going to see if this is for real. If they go on the road and play down to their competition, and this is where I'm gonna see coaching. If the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator have the team ready to go from the jump. I don't want to see this slow start and the team don't really kind of get started into the second half. I want to see them come out in the first half, like not looking past them, not looking for another team. I want to see them come out like ready to go. We ready to go. We ready to go out here. We ready to go dominate. Temple. We should put their ass away
But
early.
what's your score prediction then? What you said?
I
I
mean,
already said.
I'm looking another 48 points. So I'm looking like another 48-7. I'm looking like another 48 to
7.
7. I'm looking by the fourth quarter, the starters should
You
be
know
out.
what the spread is, right?
What's the spread?
24 and a half.
I like that. I like
You
Miami
like
with the
that?
24.
24
But
and a half.
but
We
we
didn't
did
get burned
we
by
hold
Miami.
on, hold on.
We can get to that session tomorrow, but I'm gonna have
Yeah.
something to say because I'm still on take the points, but I'm like, damn, here we go with this shit. You see what I'm saying? Because if they do everything they say, then it's an easy 24. If not, I'm gonna feel bad that I didn't take the points. But let me 20. I think the line is at like 52 or something like that. Yeah, it's like 52,
Woo.
51 and a half. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like
The boys can win 48
38
to
is
nothing and
starting to
you
work.
lose money.
Yeah. But I am going to include them on a game that we may not put that much money on, and I'm probably not going to put them on a parlay ticket though. But
Okay.
it's not personal; it's just business session. Also, during this time, I want to go ahead and get into what I've been looking at a lot of the podcasts about Miami and Miami's alumni supporting Colorado. There's this one dude, Danilo Dan. You know what I'm saying? He's a Caucasian, and I get that sports is something that brings us together, and it's not about color. But see, only the white people are saying that because the black people, we're not telling y'all like, no, it is about color. It is about black coaching. It is about power. I love the University of Miami. At the same time, I love that because I'm from Miami and I like the story of that they made championships with players who were from Miami, who weren't going to the school, who weren't represented, who bought them that. And they weren't just from Miami, they was from the hood, which dominates a lot, majority of the parts of Miami. And so when we see, Coach Prime and he has Warren Sapp, which we talked about it yesterday, a lot of these schools will not, let's go ahead and say it. I don't have to know this, right? I can't bet on this. But these schools ain't hiring their former players all the time. And I'm not a lot of they're on certain staffs. But I mean, was Warren Sapp not there for us to be our line coach? Or to be associate head coach? Nah, you probably looked at the character. You probably looked at him like a Paul Pierce, like, nah, he might say something crazy. Cool. You don't want Jonathan Vilma, who, you know what I'm saying, who I went to school with to be your linebacker coach? I don't really think they're appealing. And I also don't see anything wrong with supporting him, supporting Dion, and supporting us because he went to Florida State. But at the end of the day, we both went to HBCUs when it get down to it, and we still support UM. Okay, Coach Prime, let it be known, which I love this too. I ain't no Florida State alumni, and they didn't give him the job either. So we also look at that. This is bigger. To me, I love UM all day, but I don't know if I love it if I have to pick that over FAM. I went to FAM. FAM represents a little bit more of me, so I wouldn't want to be in a position to have to pick because I'm from Miami. But nah, I'm riding FAMU when it get down to it because your student body a lot of times don't look like me. Then the other thing is like HB race transcends sports. I'm gonna get on here and talk sports all day, but in reality, these players that you love, they come from these hoods. And let's not forget, there was a time that we couldn't even play at these schools. Why do you think the HBCUs were good? So I think this transcends that, and I think that he doesn't get it. He was like, oh, they want to go out there and the Camp Kardashian, and I was like, yeah, this is typical double speak. See, this shit is dumb because you don't understand sports, race, and where they intersect that, and you can't go there. But these players that you love, they're all black. They all came from the hood. We were before there was Prime. And Prime was the only swagged out person that really went to FSU. He started FSU swag. FSU ain't had no swag. That's America's team. You see how they rate it? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. If FSU is a hint of good, they're going to be top 5. And there's, that is what it is. But when we see Coach Prime do that same thing and win, we're going to love it. And real talk, some of this love, and they're talking about it, he's going to lose, right? It's like gambling, these predictions. When we're going to try to crucify him a little bit, they're going to try to take away the shine. But I'm like, you know what? He was at Jackson State. I'm a fan, but I'm down with Jackson State. Okay, you at Colorado? I'm at Colorado. I ain't going to try to get no gear now because I'm sure it's on back order. But no, I'm on that. Whatever Dion own, I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, we also want to say that, now, 21-point underdog again at Oregon with no Travis Hunter. But, that was top news too, that dirty hit. I did want to ask you. I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? I have my own opinions about it. I ain't never asked you, but like, how do you feel about that motherfucking hit?
It was ejection worthy because when I watched it, it was like the ball. It wasn't like it was like a bang play. It was like the ball hit the ground, and it was like a second. It was like a split, like a half a second had elapsed, like enough time for you to pull up. Right? It's enough time for you to know if the ball is still like flying over your head, like it's going out of bounds, but it's going like way over your head, and you're still just like you're almost in the process of catching the ball, and it's like, okay, you just put your hands up and the ball's gonna go out of bounds and I hit you still. It's just like that's a penalty at least. There was no chance of him catching that ball. Like that ball had done dropped, hit the ground, and Buddy took like 2 more steps and hit him. And that's when it's just like, all right, when they talk about
and the look over him when he was done, I think that's really what showed the intent. It wasn't just like the hit; it was just like, I know this. I know I'm probably getting in trouble for this, but I got to do this because I'm trying to send a message.
Hey, the Miami in me said, "Hey, I like that. Hey, man, listen, it's football. Listen, a part of football is violence. It's intimidation. It's barbaric. It's like, fuck you." And that, to me, that was a real fuck you play. Now, because there's rules, I feel like he could have been.
No, there's not just any rules. This ain't football from 10 to 20 years ago. So my thing is,
he was defensive.
They do targeting for less. You said he should have been ejected. All of that.
He should
So
have
if
been
we get pick
ejected.
and
It
choose,
should have been a targeting play. It should have been a targeting. He should have been ejected.
even though it's not going to be, because I don't think the head of, we're targeting the head of the crown has to be going down.
That's not the only. That's the
Was
only
that the only
thing.
one?
That's not the only way. So a part of it is being defensive receiver.
Oh, he
So
was
being
definitely
defensive, the
defensive.
head of the
He
crown
was
hitting the
super
head,
defensive.
but it's also like um because of something like that is a play to where
It was
um
reviewable. It should have been
it
reviewable for
should have been
targeting all
reviewed,
day.
and,
And I
that,
think any other game it would have been.
that's why they don't do crap back blocks anymore. They don't do like certain like on kickoff returns, like they don't do that anymore because
The
of
way
these
that
type of
they throw
injuries.
flags in this league, and the thing about it is, I could see if it was something that happened on the line real quick. No, this play, everybody, not just the people on TV, the refs are right there. So for me, it was like, you know what? If we're talking about old school, what you said, I'm fine with that. But we live in a different league in the NFL and college football, and it's like, no, they go so hard on that. I don't even see how you didn't see that. And you know what? It was already out of bounds. Like, nah,
It's
that
already
was
out of
deliberate.
bounds.
That was, and you had to come. You had to come, and people were trying to make the argument. It's hard to slow down,
Nah,
bruh.
it's not. They teach this is something you practice now. It's almost like tackling without leading with your head. Like they practice this now. So you know how to pull up on a quarterback. You know how to not lead with your head.
What if that was the quarterback? That's how we gonna do that. Quarterback, bro, you might get kicked out of the game for that. You hit the quarterback like that after he throws the ball, which that's the same thing, right? He threw
Well,
the
they end
ball.
up getting a penalty later for a late hit on Shador. Same thing.
Really what it's about. I understand that they're trying to protect the quarterback and they're trying to protect all players, but it still shows me if that was a quarterback, oh, you might have been kicked out the game for that. Let that be the late hate on the quarterback like that. That's even worse. They're going to review it for targeting. I feel like he had some late hits at critical moments, but that hit out of bounds was just
Yeah,
worse.
he should have been out of the game. He should have been out of the game. Part of me liked it because it was just like, listen, he should have been out of the game. And if I was his coach, he should have been out of the game. But it should have been like, fuck that nigga, fuck him. Like we out here, like I had to listen. I would have got kicked out and been like, look, I had to make a statement, and
We can respect that.
I don't want him to be hurt. I don't want him to be hurt. But yeah, I had to be like, yo,
And the
it's
thing is,
real
I'm
out
not
here.
mad at him. I'm more
Hey,
looking
hey,
at
hey!
how
What? Remember what Kellen Winslow said? Nigga, it's war out here. It's
I
war.
do believe that.
Kellen Winslow Jr. said, "Hey, this is war. These niggas
Yeah,
is trying to
yeah,
kill
yeah.
me."
Nah, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Um, but yeah, but as I said yesterday, next year, you're not finna your old line not finna play for Warren Sapp. Somebody getting a line next year, they going to war on recruiting. That
Yeah,
is a war. You sign Warren Sapp. Listen, your uncle and them kids coming from the hood, they playing for Sapp. They playing for Sapp. All
like I
Sapp got to, bro. You got Paul Pierce on your old line. You got Paul Pierce on your old line. It's gonna be a problem. You're not. Listen, them boys might get a line, and then think about it. Even with the transfers, Alabama, bro, they might have a whole line next season. In elite, listen, I keep saying, you think you seen something with Jimbo? He ain't seen nothing yet. He
yeah.
ain't seen nothing yet. Prime about to show you how to do this. This is about to be a whole rap song. This is about to be a rap. You about to get beat to a soundtrack. You about to get beat to a soundtrack. And I already see you got to hit it, man. But shoot, man, look. Next video, we're gonna be back with some picks. We're gonna be back with a little bit more tidbits. We're gonna be around this little sphere, and we're gonna listen. We've already stated. Listen, I'm not the biggest Dolphins fan. I love the team. Don't hate the organization, but we're gonna give y'all some on that too, man. All things Miami. So look out for that.
All right, shit. Well, we out, man. From the bottom of the map,
From the
checking
bottom of
in.
the night,
We gone.
we gone.
Dad, Dad,
Yeah, gee.
what are those coming to us? She's going out the SED